Life has an interesting way of testing us, doesn't it? I mean, we've all faced moments where things didn't go the way we'd hoped. There are moments of rejection, betrayal, or loss. And it's natural to feel bitter when the people or circumstances you relied on let you down. But the truth is, bitterness only chains us to the pain. So growth, resilience, and success, those are forged when we let go of bitterness and focus on becoming better. You see, every setback you've endured, every time life didn't go your way, it came with a hidden gift. And that was a chance to grow, to evolve, and to rise above. And sometimes we need those tough moments to remind us of who we are and what we're capable of. So let's give gratitude to those very challenges that once felt like roadblocks. Thank you to the doors that slammed in my face. At the time, it felt like rejection, like everything I'd worked for was slipping away. But in hindsight, those closed doors redirected me to something far greater than I'd imagined. They forced me to innovate, to think differently, and to walk a path that was uniquely mine. When that opportunity you thought was the one disappears, it's not the end. Sometimes it's the universe clearing the way for something extraordinary. Thank you to the people who doubted me. Your skepticism lit a fire within me that I didn't even know existed. You gave me the hunger to push beyond my limits, to prove not just to you, but to myself that I am capable. Every time you said you can't do it, I used those words as fuel to show you that I absolutely could. If people doubt you, let it strengthen your resolve. Remember, diamonds are formed under pressure, not in comfort. Thank you to the moments that felt like failure. Those were the moments that taught me resilience, patience, and the power of perseverance. Failure isn't the opposite of success. In fact, it's the foundation of it. Thomas Edison famously failed 10,000 times before creating the light bulb. But then he said, I didn't fail, I just found 10,000 ways it didn't work. So let your failures teach you, refine you, and guide you towards your next breakthrough. Thank you to the relationships that didn't last, to the ones who walked away, to the people who didn't believe in me. I owe you a special kind of gratitude, because your departure made room for people who genuinely care, who genuinely support me. It made me stronger, more self-reliant, and more aware of my worth. Sometimes we cling to the people who are not meant to walk the whole journey with us. So let them go, and trust that their absence is a gift in disguise. Thank you to the struggles that felt insurmountable. Those were the moments I discovered my true strength. When life tests you, it's not to break you, but to build you. The pain you've endured becomes the strength you lean on, and every mountain you've climbed becomes a testament to your perseverance. Bitterness is a weight that holds you in place, tethering you to the past. But choosing to be better, that's where transformation happens. Better doesn't mean forgetting what hurt you or pretending it didn't matter. It means using those experiences as stepping stones to a brighter future. So here's my challenge to you. The next time life feels unfair, when someone lets you down or circumstances don't go your way, just pause and ask yourself, will this make me bitter, or will this make me better? Choose better. Always choose better. Because the truth is, you can't control what happens to you, but you can control how you respond. The people who doubted you, they don't define you. The opportunities you lost, they don't limit you. What defines you is how you rise, how you grow, and how you use every experience, good and bad, to build the life you deserve. Remember, life is a journey, not a straight line. So every twist, turn, and detour, it's shaping you into someone stronger, wiser, and more capable than you ever imagined. When life gets hard, don't let it make you bitter. Let it make you better. Imagine a tiny drop of water hitting a rock. One drop alone does nothing. But drop after drop, day after day, the seemingly unmovable rock starts to wear down. That's the power of consistency. It's not about one massive effort. It's about showing up every single day, even when you don't feel like it. See, we live in a world that celebrates big wins and overnight successes. But here's the truth no one likes to talk about. Behind every overnight success are years of consistent, quiet effort. There's a grind, a routine, a series of small steps that lead to big leaps. The secret sauce to success? Well, it's not talent, luck, or even timing. It's consistency. Momentum doesn't appear out of thin air. It's built through repetition, through habit, through showing up when no one is watching. Every time you take action, no matter how small, you're adding fuel to your momentum. You're laying one brick in the foundation of the life you want to create. Too often we underestimate the small things. We think, one skipped workout won't hurt, or I'll start working on my dream tomorrow. But tomorrow turns into next week into next month, and before you know it, you're stuck in the same place, wondering, why hasn't life changed? Truth is, life changes when you do. Consistency doesn't require perfection, it requires persistence. It's okay to slip up, to miss a day, to make a mistake. What matters is getting back on track. Momentum is forgiving, but it demands one thing: commitment. Consistency compounds. Every rep at the gym strengthens your body. Every page you read sharpens your mind. Every hour you invest in your craft pushes you closer to mastery. These efforts may seem small in the moment, but they add up over time. Think of a snowball rolling down a hill. At first, it's tiny. It takes effort to get it moving, but as it rolls, it picks up speed, growing larger and faster with every turn. That's how momentum works. The more consistent you are, the easier it becomes to keep going. And suddenly, you are unstoppable. Let's be real, consistency isn't glamorous. It's not always exciting or fun. There will be days when you don't want to do it, when the bed feels warmer than the gym, when Netflix seems more tempting than working on your goals. And that's where most people stop. They let comfort win. But comfort is the enemy of progress. Growth lies in discomfort. And those moments when you push through resistance and do the hard things anyways, that's where growth is. Here's the beautiful thing about consistency. It puts the power back in your hands. You don't have to rely on momentum, luck, or external circumstances. You just have to decide every single day to take one small step forward. Picture the life you want to create. Maybe it's a successful career, a healthier body, or a more peaceful mind. Whatever it is, the blueprint is in your hands. You don't need to make giant leaps. You just need to keep laying the bricks, one action at a time. The question is, can you commit? Can you embrace the grind, the routine, the unglamorous work that no one else sees? Because that's where greatness is built, not in the spotlight, but in the shadows. Right now, take a hard look at your life. Where have you been inconsistent? What dreams have you been putting off because you're waiting for the right time or the perfect plan? The right time is now. The perfect plan is to start where you are with what you have. Commit to consistency, not for a week, not for a month, but for a life. Because if you show up every day, even when it's hard, even when you don't feel like it, success becomes inevitable. You'll wake up one day and realize the life you've built is everything you dreamed of. So let's work together. Let's build momentum. Let's prove day by day that consistency is the most powerful force in the world. Your future self is counting on you. Life requires more than just following instructions or going through the motions. If you want to grow, thrive, and make better decisions, you need to think critically. And the good news is, critical thinking is a skill, not a talent. It's something you can develop and sharpen with practice. So what exactly is critical thinking? Well, it's the ability to objectively analyze information, challenge assumptions, and make decisions based on logic and evidence, not just emotions or opinions. It's about being thoughtful, not reactive. So let's dive into how you develop this critical thinking skill. First, ask the right questions. At the heart of critical thinking lies one thing: questions. So start asking yourself, what evidence supports this? Is this fact or opinion? What are the possible outcomes? The more curious you become, the better your thinking will be. Don't just accept things at face value, dig deeper. Whether you're listening to the news, reading an article, or making a decision, train yourself to ask, is this really true? Second, challenge your own assumptions. We all have biases, beliefs we accept without question because they're familiar. Critical thinking requires that you identify those assumptions and ask, what if I'm wrong? Think of it like this: growth doesn't happen in comfort. When you question your own beliefs and consider new perspectives, you sharpen your mind and open yourself to better solutions. The goal isn't to always be right. It's to be open to being better. Third, practice active listening. One of the best ways to develop critical thinking is by listening to understand, not just respond. Whether it's a conversation, a podcast, or an argument, slow down and listen carefully to not only what's being said, but what's not being said. Critical thinkers listen with curiosity, not judgment. They gather information from multiple sources before forming conclusions. The more perspectives you engage with, the more well-rounded your thinking becomes. Fourth, analyze and evaluate the information. We're bombarded with information daily. Some of it's useful, a lot of it's not. Your job as a critical thinker is to filter the noise and focus on what matters. Look for facts over opinions. Seek reliable sources instead of rumors. Ask yourself, what's the motive behind this message? In a world of clickbait and misinformation, the ability to separate truth from fluff is priceless. Number 5, develop problem-solving skills. Critical thinking isn't just about analyzing information. It's about using that information to solve problems effectively. Instead of jumping to conclusions, ask, what are all the possible solutions? What are the pros and cons of each option? What's the next best step based on the evidence? Critical thinkers focus on solutions, not excuses. They don't avoid tough decisions, they embrace them. Number 6 is reflect and learn from the experience. After every decision or experience, reflect on what you learned or what could have been done better. Reflection is essential for growth. Critical thinking is like a muscle. It gets stronger the more you use it. Every time you pause to reflect, you give yourself the chance to make better decisions in the future. After all, it's about progress, not perfection. So finally, developing critical thinking skills is like giving yourself a compass. It helps you navigate life's challenges with clarity and confidence. You won't just follow the crowd, you'll carve your own path. And here's the key. It's a process, not a destination. The more you practice questioning, analyzing, and reflecting, the sharper your mind will become. In the end, the quality of your decisions shapes the quality of your life. So ask questions, challenge assumptions, listen actively, and never stop learning. When you master your mind, you master your life. The other day I was out for a walk. Now normally it's my time to clear my head, get some fresh air, reset. But on that day I was walking with a sore hip, and every step sent a dull ache through my side, and I couldn't help but think about it. As I passed people along the path, I realized something. None of them knew I was in pain. I looked just like anyone else going about their day. But inside, I was dealing with something. And that's when it hit me. We have no idea what other people are going through. We see faces, we exchange greetings, we pass each other by, but we never really know what someone else is carrying with them. Everyone is dealing with something, and most of the time, we have no clue. Maybe it's physical pain, like the soreness I felt. Maybe it's something deeper, like emotional pain, the kind that no one can see but weighs a person down. Maybe it's financial stress, trying to make ends meet while putting on a brave face. Or perhaps it's the quiet struggle with mental health, anxiety or depression that can feel like a heavy fog even when the sun is shining outside. Think about your own life. How many times have you smiled at someone or told them that you were fine when, deep down, you were anything but? We all do it. We keep going, even when we're hurting, even when things aren't okay. And the people around us, well, they do the same thing. They're fighting battles we know nothing about. That's why compassion matters so much. On that walk, I realized something important. Just as no one knew what I was feeling, I didn't know what they were dealing with either. The person I passed could have been carrying a pain far greater than mine. They might have been going through a breakup, grieving a loss, or stressing over unpaid bills. Truth is, we never really know. But what we can do is offer a bit of kindness, a bit of understanding. We can remember that everyone we meet has their own story, their own struggles, and their own moments of hardship. Maybe they're not wearing their pain on the outside, but it's there, just like mine was that day. So the next time you cross paths with someone, whether it's a stranger on the street, a colleague at work, or a friend, remember that they might be dealing with something you can't see. And just like you need grace on your hardest days, they might need it too. Like a smile, a kind word, a little patience. These small gestures can make a big difference. You never know how much someone might need it. We're all in this together, doing our best to get through life, one step at a time, sore hips and all. Let's show a little more compassion. Because at the end of the day, we're all dealing with something, and sometimes that small act of kindness is exactly what someone needs to keep going. Imagine for a moment that every day you wake up with a clean slate. What if instead of letting yesterday's worries weigh you down, you started fresh with a world of possibilities before you? What if instead of focusing on what could go wrong, you shifted your attention to what could go right? We know that most times when we face a challenge, our mind races through worst-case scenarios. But what if you use that energy to visualize your success instead? What if you believe that every step you take brings you closer to your dreams? What if you could see failure not as a dead end, but as a stepping stone? What if you saw setbacks as a learning experience or just one more way not to reach your destination? Failure is not permanent. It's just an obstacle to overcome. So what if you viewed your own setbacks with the same perspective? Each obstacle could be a chance to learn, grow, and improve. What if you stopped comparing yourself to others? It's easy to look at someone else's achievements and feel like you're falling short, but what if you recognize that your journey is unique? What if you embraced your own strengths and celebrated your progress, no matter how small? Remember, every great achievement started with a single step, and every person you admire started from where you are now. What if you believed in the power of your own thoughts? Your mind is like a garden. If you plant seeds of positivity, you'll grow a beautiful life. But if you let weeds of doubt and negativity take root, they'll overshadow your potential. What if you made a habit of nurturing positive thoughts and affirming your worth? What if you chose to focus on what you can control and let go of what you can't? What if you realized that you already have everything you need within you to succeed? It's easy to feel like you're missing something crucial, but what if you recognized your inner strength and resources? You have resilience, creativity, and determination. What if you've tapped into these qualities more often? Imagine what you could achieve if you truly believed in your own power. What if you embraced the idea that you're the author of your own story? Each day is a new page, and you have the power to write the next chapter. What if you stopped letting negative thoughts dictate your narrative? Instead, what if you took charge and wrote a story of courage, hope, and triumph? So today I challenge you to ask yourself, what if? Embrace the possibility that your life can be better than you imagine. Believe in your own strength and potential. You are the author of your story, and your future is full of possibilities. Whether you're a student, a professional, an entrepreneur, or an athlete, there's a process, a recipe to achieve success. It doesn't matter what your background is, it doesn't matter what your chosen field is. This process, if you follow it to a T, will see you achieve your chosen goal. I'm about to reveal the secret, so are you ready? Now the good news is it's only 4 steps. And you can do all of these. There's no special talent required. Anyone can succeed if they follow the recipe. So if you're ready to change your life, let's get started. In my private coaching, I call these the 4 pillars of success. Step number 1, know what you want. Sounds simple, kind of straightforward, right? But it's the foundation of everything that you're going to achieve. Imagine you're heading out on a road trip. You wouldn't just drive aimlessly and hope you end up where you want to go. No, you would have the destination in mind. That's exactly how it works with your goals. You need to define your vision. Get clear on it. What does success look like for you? Picture it. Write it down and let the image drive you forward. Once you know what you want, step number 2. It's time to make the plan. Think of this as your roadmap. Break down your big goal into smaller, manageable steps, and then create a timeline for each of these steps. This doesn't have to be perfect or set in stone. Think of it more as a guide than a rule book. Plans can and they should change, so adapt as you move forward. The key is to have the structure that keeps you on track. All right, so we have the goal, we have a plan written down. Step number 3, it's time to execute the plan. This is where the rubber meets the road. We start working on those steps. Remember, it's okay if things don't go exactly as planned. It's about consistency, not perfection. Progress requires action. It's your daily choices and decisions that will affect your outcome. You're not going to see the changes right away, but believe me, the wheels have been set in motion. The journey to success often requires tweaks along the way. So don't be afraid to pivot if something isn't working. Step number 4. And here's the part that separates the dreamers from the doers. You gotta grind it out. Persistence is your best friend. Success doesn't come overnight. It's the result of consistent effort and unwavering commitment. There's gonna be obstacles, and there's gonna be days when you feel like giving up. But this is where your determination shines. Keep pushing forward, keep the faith, and believe in yourself. Your hard work will pay off. Here's the truth. There's no secret to success. You've heard all of this before. The journey to success requires hard work, commitment, and time. Just follow the 4 steps. Know what you want. Make a plan. Execute the plan, and then grind it out. You have the power to achieve greatness. It's already within you. The real question is, will you do what is required? If you want more, then you have to do more. There's no shortcut. Stop looking for easy and just get working. I'm going to try and say this as delicately as I can. You are not your past. Let me repeat that. You are not your past. What's happened is done and gone. For any of that to exist in the present moment is a choice you are making. I'm bringing this up because I had a conversation with a friend recently that made me pause and take a step back. What occurred to me is that we sometimes see people very differently than how they see themselves. From the outside, we may see a confident, well put together individual who's overcome many obstacles. I'll call this the victor. Yet when they look in the mirror, they'll see a very different person, one with flaws and is lacking all that we see as an observer. I'll call this the victim. How you interpret your past will make you either the victim or the victor in the present. Your past does not have to define you. That's a choice that you get to make. You can choose to hold on and be the victim, or you can choose to learn and let go and be the victor. I'll give you the example of 2 boys raised by an alcoholic and abusive father. Both boys sharing the exact same experiences in their upbringing, then later going on to having families of their own. The one boy, now man, goes on to repeating the patterns that he learned growing up, becoming an alcoholic and abusive partner. When asked how this happened, he explains, "How could I not? Look at the way I was raised." Meanwhile, the other boy, now man, with his family, he's a loving, considerate partner who's never had a drop of alcohol. When asked how this happened, he explains, "How could I not? Look at the way I was raised." The first boy continues to see himself as a victim. He carries that identity into the present. It's infiltrated his psyche to the point that his actions and behaviors are ingrained in his identity. He's an alcoholic. He's abusive. He's still the victim of his upbringing. The other boy, now man, identifies completely different than his brother. Although he experienced the exact same upbringing, he identifies as the victor. He learned what not to do by seeing how his father behaved. He vowed never to be the same. Two boys, same experiences, different identities. We become victors when we learn from our experiences. We become victors when we accept that we did not have control over our experiences, only how we view those experiences. See, it's not the experiences that made you who you are today, but it's how you interpreted those experiences. So let me ask you, what role do you want to play in the story of your life? Because there are many chapters left to be written. Like any great novel or movie, the best plots have twists and turns, and the outcomes are rarely predictable. Your story is no different. Just when you think you know where the journey is headed, you can pick a different course. You can be the victim, but I'd suggest that audiences love the victors more.